Our goal has always been not to just sort of make a game that is set in the Star Wars universe, but to really tell an authentic Star Wars story. And that's actually a hugely different thing. How do you ground the new and unfamiliar in the familiar? You need the guidance of someone like Doug Chiang to show you the way.
One of the great joys of working with Amy is she is like a film director in many ways, because she is telling her story and I'm helping to realize her world.
This week's discussion, mate, I guess we're talking about EA again, in a negative light. I mean, EA's not helping themselves with, like, their bad press for the worst company in the world or whatever.
No, they're definitely helping it by what they did this week, and good on you, EA. Smart move.
But, what? It's literally one of the, like, what are you doing, EA, damn it? And this news is, I'll just get into what the news is first, and then we can get into it. But they shut down Visceral Games, which, for those who don't recall, were developing their main Star Wars game they kept showing off on every goddamn E3 conference.
Yep.
It'd be like, oh, don't forget this one that Visceral Games are working on.
Visceral's making that one. Well, guess what? Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's like, here's 2 seconds of footage of this one. Why we show like 10 minutes of people sketching something on a pad.
Yeah.
Talking about how amazing Star Wars is.
And then EA thought, well, your game isn't quite as amazing as we hoped.
Yeah, well, they essentially decided, and I can quote what their exact thing was, they cancelled it because they wanted it to be a broader experience that allows more variety and player agency. Is one of the key quotes.
They also mentioned they want it to be a game where you come back to. So
yeah,
what
returning,
that game was initially, I think we thought it was an Uncharted-like game.
That seemed to be what it was going to be, especially because Amy Hennig, who was the previous Uncharted directors until Uncharted 4, where she was replaced and then left.
Because she left to join Visceral.
To literally make the Star Wars game. Yeah. That was seemingly her entire point, was to do that.
Visceral also made Dead Space, if no one knew that. But
yeah, they made Dead Space. They made a lot of the games too. They were involved with the James Bond games back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day before they were Visceral. There was something...
Yeah, no. But I mean, EA's always have they're really good at killing, absorbing companies as well.
Yeah,
probably a better word. They shut them down and absorb them to other teams, and that's exactly what they've done here.
Yeah, it's exactly what they've done here. They've done it time and time again. It's like there's a little comic of where EA takes a developer out to the back to some pit full of other developers they've killed, and shoots them too. It was always a picture of Bioware, but people remade it for Visceral. We're this is going to happen to Bioware.
But basically what EA was saying with this game is that, look, this is was a AAA single-player story experience. That does not work in this landscape anymore for us as a developer to make enough profit off this game.
Effectively,
So, we're readjusting all of it, and seemingly that readjustment is Destiny/Anthem. That's seemingly what they're going with.
You can see in the press release that the guy felt nothing for what he just did. It's this is just business thing. We're probably firing a whole heap of people, and they tried to pin it in a light that we're doing the right thing for you. We're going to make this game great, and it's going to be all for you. And
that's what it was like. And the thing was so annoying is he talks about this game was really fun and enjoyable, but it just wasn't enough for what people want now. I'm like, God damn it, this is what I want. I just want a single player Star Wars game.
Star Wars. Star Wars sells. Anything Star Wars sells. You could have released it as the Uncharted game, and people would have bought it a hell of a lot.
That is everything I wanted. I don't want it to be an online game. I want it to be 1313. They cancelled that one. That was Star Wars Uncharted. Then this game came out. It was Star Wars Uncharted. They cancelled it again.
I don't think we're ever in Star Wars Uncharted. I would love a Star Wars universe game, but I would have also loved what this could have been, because from what they showed off, it looked really good. And
the thing that doesn't even make sense to me is that Anthem is EA's game. So
they've really got that.
They're direct competing with themselves. Obviously, these are stabs in the dark. I mean, everyone's doing this right now. With this news.
Trust me, we're not the only ones doing this.
Yeah,
I've really listened to people talk about this.
So it doesn't have to be Anthem that they're Destiny that they're trying to make. It just has to be a multiplayer game or online game. That's clearly what it needs to be.
Component.
So it could be something else. The thing though is that's interesting is they pick a fad now, right? So let's say it's 4 years before this game's done now. Which is already a sad truth, but that might be the case.
I just imagine them making a PlayerUnknown Battleground Star Wars game.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm just what's popular right now? Battlegrounds, PUBG. I'm what if they're doing a Star Wars Battlegrounds game?
Because Star Wars
It's not impossible. It's so dodgy. And then the other unclear thing at the moment is Amy Hennig, where she's what her job title is now. Such what's happening with her.
I think they say they're trying to find the spot. Like they're just in discussions with her. But if I'm going to make a big
exact quote was
jump,
discussions.
yeah, I think she will leave. I think if you've been working on a game for that long, it's just,
honestly, it must be depressing for her where she was working on Uncharted and she got cut out of that because they wanted the Last of Us guys to take over. I think that was. I don't think they ever fully clarified what happened there.
We've never known that, but it's definitely seems like
it seems like that was what happened. Admittedly, the Uncharted game that came out never did feel like Last of Us, which everyone thought it was going to be. It didn't. It did feel like Uncharted still.
It was still Uncharted very much so, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't the game that Amy Hennig started. And then she moved on to be Star Wars. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then for so long, every time EA talked about this game, it was the Amy Hennig Star Wars game. That is what this game was.
Yep, they worked on with help from Motive as well.
And it's like she's a great storyteller. She's a great director. She's good at like managing these projects. Like, because Naughty Dog's probably one of the best, and she was like basically the main person doing it for ages.
Naughty Dog does stuff so much. Like they work very hard. You can just tell without what they push out.
And then just to hear that she's been cut off this project, and then the discussions, which to me, I'm like, it's basically like, look, we cancelled your project and we know you wanted to do this. We've employed you. Do you want to continue with us, even though it's not going to be what you want, or just leave? And I'm as you said, I'm pretty sure she's going to leave.
That is my bet. She leaves EA. I don't think she'll stay there. Someone will hire her very fast.
Oh yeah, no, she's like Kojima. Like she's straight up like, she'll be snapped up like that.
Yeah, and
people want to
be smart for. I'd say. If anyone wants to be smart about this, it should be Microsoft. Yeah, it's just like, okay, you can do this. And then they can cancel it later on and ruin all their hopes and dreams.
That's constantly, like, when we talked about, like, the Microsoft problem in one of our earlier podcasts, that's basically the main conclusion we had, is that Microsoft needs to get developers that people trust straight away. It needs to get the Kojimas of the world where you just hear a name being signed on and you go, well, I have some faith in Xbox now. And they do the opposite of that. They get not many developers and then they cancel the ones they have. Which isn't the best.
Yeah. EA is currently in a problem where they're doing a lot wrong in the overarching media. They're pay to win. Loot boxes is like a big thing. Now they just killed Visceral, which does not paint them in a good light. And they're trying to why would they make it like an MMO? Like there could be two things. Could be an MMO. They've got a Star Wars MMO. Could be like Destiny. They've got Anthem.
Yeah. I think they said multiple teams will work on this game too. It wasn't like they just signed it to someone else.
Yeah, they moved it like Vancouver and a whole bunch of teams, and it looks like anyone working on it is no longer working on it. I think only a minor amount will. EA must have really gone, okay, we're taking over this. This is going the wrong direction. We're pushing this right where we want it to be.
They did say, it makes logical sense that most of the assets will be kept and reused in the whatever game becomes.
Yeah,
so it's not like they've... It's because they're not going to waste all that money to spend on like 3-4 years, how long it's been.
Like easily, maybe 100 mil, maybe.
But it is very interesting that they've just scrapped it, and like the very fact that Amy Hennig isn't letting it tells me that like they have really changed it. Where it's like we don't want it to be what the single player focus. It is just something else entirely.
It makes me scared for anything else anywhere at EA makes. Say Bioware, who's currently working on Anthem is already.
I'm so scared Bioware's going to get shut.
Yeah, they're working on Dragon Age at the moment, which I think might either get cancelled, that team will get taken out, or it'll be multiplayer focused, which honestly for EA to be making a full RPG single player thing at this day and age does not seem right for them, because to me it seems like that is not their kind of thing, and they're going to realise that eventually, and then we're going to hear something terrible has happened. I don't think Bioware is going to get shut down, but they might, just because it's the brand name, but the brand name has been tarnished by Andromeda. I really this year.
I don't think Bioware will be like Visceral, where they just shut it down out of the blue. I think Bioware will be it's one bad game off. If Dragon Age does come out, Dragon Age does come out.
Yep.
Yeah, which I think it will. And as you said, it probably will be multiplayer focused or have its loot boxes or whatever shit they want to put in there. Yeah, if it doesn't perform well, I think that's Bioware gone. Like Bioware's shut down.
I think
take the assets, move them somewhere else.
I think they'll take key players from Bioware, move them into another studio, and just probably shut down Bioware. I think
there was a Bioware head person who left very recently.
Yeah, but they replaced him with the old one. Right, so to me, it seems like Bioware is not safe. It is not in. It's not like
no.
And it's not got EA in the name, which is why I think it's a risk. Because they might either just rename it, because BioWare is not as, it used to be, you heard the name BioWare and you thought, that will be a great game. Now you hear BioWare and you hear Mass Effect Andromeda and you're like, okay, maybe not so good. And That was why I
And
think
they
they
just-
never renamed it, because Bioware meant so much. Now with Bioware meaning so little,
Yeah. And that's the, it has a stigma now, where as soon as you see the next Bioware game, people are going to go, oh, what's the facial models like? That's like when they show the Anthem game, and the first thing they show is the facial models.
yeah, they're like,
They go, look at
"You-
this.
like, look at that, they have faces, they move. How do
They don't look like someone's
See?
cut off
We
someone's
can
face
make
and strapped it on their head.
people look like people. You can do that. Yeah, it's never good when they shut down a studio, and it makes you always scared for what's next. And EA loves that question, because someone is next.
It's always disappointing when you like. I mean, I think everyone always knows this, but like, it's a company. Like, companies always do inherit things that are not good for users. It's about them making money, bottom dollar. That's like how it works. But it's just so disappointing that EA, for me, it's like they've been focused on so many things. It's like, here's Mass Effect Andromeda. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's shit. No one likes it. Star Wars Hennig game. You know you like Star Wars. You're gonna like this. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Cancel. Star Wars Battlefront. It's all free on DLC. We're promising everything we didn't have in the first game. Play the beta. Loot boxes, the lore. Potentially make pay-to-win multiplayer. What the hell?
What is EA doing? Like, honestly.
And the story maybe I'm getting the general vibe it's going to be good from what I'm saw this week and from the past as well. For the story of Battlefront 2, but we yet to see. Reviews should come out and it could be bad. Like, it might be a bad story. I don't know.
Could be, yeah. We don't know. Yeah, and that kills Dead Space as well. Don't forget that Dead Space went down with that shit.
Honestly, with Dead Space 3, which
that was the nail in that coffin.
Yeah, that one already to me felt like EA's interference with it anyway. I thought, because 1 and 2 was like, we're making them horror-centric games. That is what they were. And the third one was basically like, maybe whacking some more like combat-y stuff and make it more like an action shooter type thing. Still have the Dead Space stuff in there, but make more action shooter.
And then
they
we'll
just
make the
franchise.
crafting bit a bit more monetized, so we can make more money. It's just like EA loves to meddle. Like, there's two big publishers that love meddling. It's EA and Activision. Whereas Activision does not touch Blizzard. They don't go anywhere near Blizzard.
They don't touch Blizzard. Like, Blizzard is its just entire separate entity that
you don't
does its thing.
go near Blizzard. It's just like they're too big. They're bigger than Activision in terms of like people who love them.
And because Blizzard is so profitable, they don't have to. If Blizzard stopped making money, then I think they would start.
Blizzard is always going to make money. They're always going to be making money because they just know how to make money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
yeah,
like,
they'd have to really fall. Yeah.
You never see Sony interfering with development in games. They always leave it.
I think back in the day they're more hands on, but I think after like success of so many of their games, they realized our IP is our strongest thing.
Yep.
We just let them do the right thing. Naughty Dog is like the biggest one. Where it's like they will never ever touch anything Naughty Dog does.
No, they
Naughty
won't
Dog
ever look
has
at
as
that,
much
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
If Naughty Dog says it'll take 6 years for Last of Us 2 to come out, it'll take 6 years for Last of Us 2 to come out. That's how long
they have the money, and Sony will give them the money. They won't care. They'll go, okay, we know you're going to make this good. It's like trust. They trust them.
Yeah, Sony won't fast track games. It's like, no, you take as long as you need to take.
Whereas,
there's somewhere I like to the point of like detriment sometimes where I'm like, what happened to Dreams mediocre games? That game's just dropped off the map.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
I wish they'd be a little forceful on that. And then Last Garden was another infamous one where it's like that one took like 10 years or whatever.
There's a difference between announcing things early as well. But it's
because Sony likes to have that like strong connection to developers and like we give you as much time as you need and only really like they almost never cancel anything. Like there was that Rhyme one which something must have really gone
something
wrong.
Went wrong with I think it was maybe a disagreement or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't one of their first party though, but it was those ones where it surprised me like, oh, Sony normally doesn't do this, but they did, so something must have gone wrong.
Something went wrong with it, yeah. But clearly something went wrong in EA's eyes with Visceral, so they had to kill them.
Yeah. It didn't sound like it. From even the description, he said he's just so nonchalant about it. It's like, yeah, we shut down the studio. They're going elsewhere, making a new Star Wars game, right? Move on.
Yeah, move on, guys. It's like...
these are people's lives, damn it.
These are human beings. You just... Big companies don't think like that.
Yeah. Disappointing. Mediocre. What are you doing, EA? Damn it!